Hey everybody, welcome back to the page. I'm gonna jump on here and do this video real quick. I was asked by a buddy of mine that if I had anything against like 22's, and the honest truth is I do not. I love the 22 long rifle, 22 magnum, the 223, and so forth. I'll be honest with you. They say that a 30-30 has killed more deer than any other rifle in existence, but I'm gonna say it's either a 22 or 22 Magnum because you watch the spotlighters and then people, they kill a lot of deer. Now I don't, you know, partake in none of that activity, but I'm telling you, I've heard people say, "Oh, you can't kill a deer with a 22." Yeah, you can. You hit it in the head, yes, sir. Like between the eyes or something. Yep, it'll be right there with 22 or 22 Magnum. The 223. It's not legal in my state, so we don't do it. But you know, every year when I kill hogs, I take a 22, and that's what it does the business with is a 22 rifle. So I have no doubt if it'll kill a hog that it would kill a deer or anything else. I've heard, oh, they're not good on groundhogs. I killed 10 or 12 a year with a 22 rifle because I love groundhog and I love deep groundhogs. So, you can't tell me that. Any kind of, I wouldn't want to shoot a bear with a 22, but if it come down to have to, if it was like confronting you, whatever, hey, it might feel like hornets to it, but I'd sure, try my best to do what I could do with it. Okay, let me start the video with this. I've had a 22 since I was 12 or 13 year old. We was allowed to go hunting by ourselves. My parents taught us gun safety. They taught us, that's a tool. That's dangerous. And that if you touched that without permission, they was going to stripe your butt like a zebra. And I know, you can't whip children. But let me tell you right now, they did. And my brain would say, ooh, maybe I want to. Your butt would go, I'll be the one to pay for that. Don't even think about it, buddy. And that communication kept us from doing a lot of ignorance. And, I see where these kids are doing these mass shootings and stuff at school. Okay, if you talk to your kids about guns and, teach them right, this stuff wouldn't be happening. Every year during squirrel season, there was a 22 hanging in the back window of my truck or a shotgun. I did lock my doors on my truck, but I never once thought about, somebody's going to come in with school with a gun. It just didn't happen. During deer season, there was a high power rifle on my truck because I wasn't going straight home. I was going to the deer woods if there's any way possible that I could get in the woods. And, back then we didn't think about, we got to have camo. You got to be descented. You got to have blah, blah, blah to go to the woods. We didn't. Okay. We'd most time have a camo shirt, but I couldn't tell you how many times I sit out there in the woods in blue jeans and just a button up camo shirt that I'd put on what I wore all day. And I killed deer that way. I don't know if the deer got smarter or if it's just there's a lot of money to be made. But, I have camo and a lot of it. No, it's a lot of it. I got camo. But back to the subject on 22s. But, I'm just saying, back in the day, we didn't have to worry about that. Okay. This here, now, a friend of mine has one of the first 22s that I've ever shot. And that was an old single shot, bolt action, Remington Target Master. And I absolutely love that gun. And, they've got it right now. But this here was the gun that my father had chosen, and my grandpa had one, I reckon. And it's a Remington 550-1 or -I. I've always heard one, but you see it everywhere else. It's a -I. Well, let me tell you right now, if you can get your hands on one of these rifles right here, get it. The only thing is keep it clean, and there's a little old piston thing in there that moves back and forth. This thing will shoot 22 long rifles, and they will shoot 22 shorts. And it's a semi-automatic, and it will shoot them effectively as long as it's clean. And I'll be honest with you, of all the guns I have, this is probably one of the most accurate guns in my whole set. And I absolutely love this gun. And I'll tell you right now, if this gun here ever got up for sale, there's about 10 or 12 youngs around here that, this is one of the guns they learned to shoot on. And, I've seen them take where a limb broke off, have a spot about that big, and them just drill it, and just keep cutting that limb back with this 22 rifle. Now, this one's in exceptional shape, and, it's not the original one that my father had. My brother has it, and it took me from 21 to, I'm going to say 25 years. It took me about 25 years to find one. And when this one, was found, man, love or money can't buy this gun. And, when I pass away, then it might be, there's a fly on it, thing. Okay, these are unloaded. Everybody, please make sure that you don't mess around loaded gun stuff. But, this here is an excellent little rifle. I've killed rabbits, squirrels, groundhogs, you name it, coons, possums, and everything with this gun. And at night, if I have to go outside and I know it's a coon or something trying to mess with my chickens, right here's what I take. And it's just because it has, it's got this tubular magazine, and I believe it holds 16 long rifles. So, this little gun, you couldn't buy it for, I don't care how much money you got. That gun right there won't leave until I'm dead or unless I've lost everything I've got. Okay, let me kind of lay them like this. Okay, these little 22s here, this is a little cricket. Okay, these were at one time $99. And these little guns, man, are amazing. They honestly are. Now, this one, you can put a scope on it if you want to. I just like these little iron sights. It's got a little round tube there. And, for the money, you can't beat these little guns. And you can get really accurate. I got a buddy that's got a scope on one. And, dude, it's not no 100-yard gun, which you can shoot 100 yards with it. It'll hit your target. I don't know how accurately. But, you stay within the range, 50, 75 yards with a 22. Man, these things will drive tacks. I ain't got no lie to tell you. And, these little guns right here are great. And, like, if I'm going in the woods, I don't care if it's ginseng or what. I've got a pistol here I'll show you in a few minutes. But, I always take a backpack with me, and I take supplies with me because you never know. You could fall, get hurt or something, and, take a day or two to find you. Well, you throw one of these right here in there. That's 100 rounds of 22s. We'll talk about that. But, you throw one of them in your bag, throw that in your bag. It's not in your way. It just barely does stick up even if you head. And, that's a handy little backpack gun. And it'll kill you a squirrel, a rabbit, snake, anything else you run upon effectively. Okay. I have no doubt that right there is one of the handiest little guns. And, I like that little gun a lot. I've killed rabbits out of my garden sitting on my porch. And I'm going to say it's 50 yards and they just lay over, and then they've been brought in the house. Of course, it's rabbit season when I do that. Unless they're cutting my beans in the spring. And then, we have to have a discussion. I'll give warning shots, shoot right beside them. make them run off. But if they get to where they just keep cutting my beans down, well, we have to deal with that situation. Okay, let me move this one over. These here, I've got them two ways. Right here is a synthetic stock Ruger 1022. I still believe this is one of the best 22 rifles built today. And, you know, they come, you can get a 15 round drum, clip or a 20 round clip or something. They got them big long banana clips with them. You can get a 50 round drum if that's what you want to do. You know, I've got a, that's a Nikon, little Nikon scope on that. This little gun right here, dude. I'm telling you, at 50 yards, I can put, you know, they'll be in my thumbnail. You know, and this little gun is so accurate. And I have modified it. I made the thing to drop the clip out right here. You know, a few things to it I have done. I put a flash suppressor on it and, you know, things like that. But it's still an amazing shooting little gun. And, you know, I absolutely love this gun. And I liked it so much. Y'all seen the one where I done the rescue on that 1022. Okay, right here's a little Woodstock one. And this little gun is as accurate as it could be still. You know, I put a little suppressor on it and stuff like that. But this is a amazing shooting little gun. And, you know, it don't matter if it's on a Woodstock or if it's on a synthetic stock. These little guns here, you pick up one, it's just as accurate as the other. And, you know, this one still got the little drop off right here where my finger is right here for your clip. And it still holds the 10 round clips. But as far as just an all around just gun, you can't beat these little 1022s right here. These things absolutely shoot amazing. And I don't have no problem with them jamming or anything like that. And, you know, I love these little guns. And it wouldn't hurt me to have a dozen of them. Okay. The next one we'll talk about is my 22 Magnum. This is another one, buddy. Tube fed, bolt action, 22 Magnum. It's a Marlin. Let's see if I can see it. It looks like a 382 or something. I don't have my spectacles. Let me jerk these on real quick. It's a 783 Marlin. And I'm telling you right now, I can hit 22 holes with this. It does have a Vortex 3x9x40 on it. And I can absolutely drive 22 shells with this. You know, take one that's been shot, put it in your paper. I can hit that 22 shell every shot with this. I love this gun. This is another one that will never leave my possession. And trust me, as short of a buyer, I know this gun right here will take any kind of game species around me and do it effectively. You take groundhogs or anything else, man, you cannot beat these. I absolutely would not care a bit to have. My brother-in-law's got one that's older than this one. It's got some fancier decorations and stuff on it. It's a tack driver too. Now that's no joke. And you know, like I said, this gun right here, you can't beat these 22s, people, and they're not expensive to shoot at all. But you know, you get a good 22 Magnum, it's just like anything else. You put a good optic on it. You take the time to line that gun up correctly, and you know you can't beat these guns. And you know, people talking about what if you had that 22 and the crap hit the fan. Okay, let me tell you, I got people, friends and stuff that's in the medical field stuff. They'll tell you the worst, nastiest shot ever been made was with a 22 rifle, because it can hit you right here, and let's say it goes in here at this collarbone or right here at your shoulder bone. it goes in and it ain't stout enough to go out, so it hits something and it starts traveling. And it may bounce around and end up in your big toe. And it cuts its path all the way through. I mean, they are wicked. And like, you take, let's say even with that 22 Magnum, it might go through and through. But a 22 long rifle, they say that they're the worst thing about bouncing around, as anything in the country. So, you get hit with one of them, it's not going to be we're going to go in and take the bullet out and be right back. No, because they'll have to repair everywhere that thing tumbled around. And if you got shot in the chest and it went through, slowed down enough going through all this to hit your backbone or something, and it start bouncing around inside your breast cavity, and all this, there ain't no way they can save you. They just ain't. And you take one of these accurately, I don't care, you got armor plate and what, you get shot with a 22, it hurts real bad. And if it didn't kill you, it'll put you out of action. That's why they make a 223 or the 5.56. It's not meant to kill you, because for every person that gets shot, it takes 2 to take them out of the field. So that takes 3 people to get him out of harm's way. And it made 3 people get off the battlefield. Okay, that was the whole purpose of it. And as far as, an AR, that's something tickles me. I've got an AR in there, it's a 5.56. That's why I didn't bring it in here. It's not a true 22. But, them are mean little guns. But, it's going to go through and through. The 22 main hot hit may go to bounce around and just have it a party. And that'd be all kinds of bad problems. Look it up. Tumble path of a 22 rifle. And you'll find people that's been shot. They got shot in the arm, and it went in here. Well, it lost enough velocity that it tumbled around, and they couldn't find the bullet, and they found their foot. Or, they got shot in the leg, and it rolled all over their leg and ended up in their hip or something. I've shot hogs. Put it right there on between the eyes, pop, and you'll find that bullet in the ham. Now, that's just not true. It just tumbled around in there. And I've seen many, many, many hogs killed 22 since I was little. And it just lights out. Now, the reason I brought this is it's not a true 22, but it is a 223 bolt action. Let's see, what is this one? A Savage Axis 2 and 223. Okay, it's got a good scope on it. It's a really accurate gun. It shoots 1 inch, at 100 yards, hit a hole at 1 inch pattern at 100 yards. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're not legal to deer hunt with. But what I see of it at 100 yards shooting through a 2x4, I have no doubt that, if you make an accurate shot, that would kill a deer. But the problem is if you shoot it in, the vitals and stuff, the hole would be so small it may not, leave a good blood trail. And I believe that's why they did it. But if you pulled a neck shot or a head shot, which was what I would do with this, you take a good head shot, man, I'm telling you, it'd be laying right there where you shot it. And I know a lot of people out there horn hunters and stuff. I'm not. I've got a deer mounted there, my buddy mounted for me, and it costed what a good rifle would cost. That don't make good sense. But, this is a 223. It's a very accurate little gun. It shoots amazingly well. And, they cured a lot of issues with the Savage Axis 2s that the Savage Axis had. But these are good little guns. But as you see, I have, several 22s in my collection. The reason why is they're cheap. And they're easy to, they're easy on your wallet to shoot. You can get out and plink with them where you can't afford to a lot of these bigger rifles. Okay. This right here, I must have laid that on that remote. Okay. This right here goes with me when I go ginseng hunting. This is a Browning 22 buckmark. And I'm telling you right now, it's another one. Love or money can't buy it. And my brother-in-law borrowed it to go and do his concealed carry classes. And him and his father-in-law and I believe his brother-in-law all shot this pistol to qualify for their concealed carry. If you learn to shoot this thing, dude, a dime all day, any foot, out to, I think they had to shoot out to like 50 feet, and they kept them in groups, dime groups. And I've had so many people try to buy this gun, but it's just absolutely not for sale. And it is an older bookmark, but I'm telling you right now, when I go ginsenging and stuff right there, that's what I take with me. And then that little bitty cricket would be in my backpack, because I killed many a squirrel with that gun, rabbit and stuff. Just walking around the yard, know there's a rabbit, and it'd be season where I could, and you pop it, and I'm telling you, that right there is an amazing shooting little gun, and it's got these little 10-round magazines, and I have two. I went ahead and bought me a spare so I could have 20 shells with me. These aren't, even the magazines ain't expensive. I believe that was about $19 when I bought these. I know they went up since 2020 and all that mess, but still, for a gun as accurate as that is, I think right now you can get these about $450, $500. But now, if you want an accurate little 22, right there is one, and there's down the Smith and West and stuff like that is great too. But that right there has killed hogs. I've took it down there to the hog lot, and just bang, and they'll be right there. And I hope I ain't hurt nobody's feelings by telling you the truth about it. But I'm just saying that that gun right there has, if you want to do it as a meat count, that gun right there has brought meat in this house, and a lot of it. And that's one. No, it ain't going nowhere. Now, I buy guns a lot at a pawn shop. It's called Liberty Sport and Pawn. I like them old boys over there. They real good people, and they don't. I'm nowhere associated with them except that's where I buy guns. A lot of guns. Well, not a lot, but when I can afford one, I go over there first and see what they have in the used guns, because I'd rather buy used as to buy new. Especially it saves you a lot of money. But I was over there one day and I told him, I said, I had like $150 on me. I told him, I said, sell me something that's different, something unique that I don't have, that, won't break the bank. Here he come with this. Okay. Now, I ordered a holster off of eBay. It come with this little, I think it's a knife, but I wanted a holster just to keep this gun clean. I like this thing. It's a Heritage Arms 19-inch barrel 22 long rifle. And, this little pouch here, I had him fix this pouch too, because either I think I may have, it's got the magnum cylinder in it, but right here is a 22 long rifle cylinder. Okay, I believe I got them all. I got the whole gun now, the gun and the extra cylinder for walk outdoors $150, time they got everything done, paperwork, taxes, and all. And I ordered this off of eBay. I'm not sure the people, but for what it does, this is a good little gun. I just taken or holster, I strapped it across me like this, and gun's so big, you have to draw it like that. But we got out here and got to plinking with this thing, and I'm telling you right now, that right there is accurate. For what it is, that is accurate. And I know when you used to get these, I had some of these 20 year ago, 30 year ago. If you shot the 22 Magnum cylinders too much, the barrel would get loose and wonky. Well, back then we got it back straight, and we took about a rant, and it was still shooting just accurate and held up just as good as it ever did. But I bought it kind of as a joke. But look there, it's got scorpion on the handles. It's got a gold hammer, a gold trigger. I'm sure it's not gold, but it's gold colored. And when he brought that out, I thought about many times buying one. Well, where this one was used, it was reduced quite a bit, and I had to bring it home. And, you know, I actually looked at one of the ones that's got the little butt thing. But from what I understand, you know, people want to hold them like this. Well, if you do, it throws powder and hits you in the hand and stuff, throws a little bit of lead and stuff. So, you know, but I've had Rugers, the Wranglers and stuff like that. Uh, you know, they shoot real good. You know, they've got these in a 6-inch barrel, be about like that, 7, 8s. They've even got down to a little bitty thing like that. These guns are cheap and they're accurate. They'll kill whatever you're pointing at if you learn to shoot it. I've seen people put red dots on them. I've seen people put shotgun scopes on them and stuff like that, and get them down to, man, they shooting, you know, 1-inch group. And I had to take a squirrel out. And I have no doubt if I had this and I seen a squirrel on a tree, that I could absolutely take it out with this. And for $150, it shoots 22 or 22 magnums. How do you beat that? And the only reason I like a Heritage better than the Ruger Wranglers is when you hear that click. Okay, when you take this little thing right here, it pushes the bullet out of it. See, it don't swing out. You have to pull this over, and you mash that to push the old spent shell out. Well, this one actually lines up. The Ruger Wrangler did not, and I kind of didn't like having to, you know, micromanage it to do it. If I want to unload it, I want and get it done. But this was kind of bought as a, well, I said I would, but now that I've got it, I like this little gun. And it's, you know, it's just a cheap something to get out and play with. And you pull out, everybody's like, what in the crap? And, you know, it's got a neat little holster. And I'm pretty sure, you know, if it come down to, you know, having to, I could find something to, you know, put in a skillet with that. But, you know, where I'm a big old boy, you can't, you know, for anything come on my side, see my arm locks up and I got a bad back. So I just put it on my chest where I can see how that works better. And, you know, I like that little gun. Okay, now here's what I want to talk to you about. I hear some people say, oh, 22's, man, they're just not much. Okay, what else? Now, these used to be $21 a box. And I ain't got no lie to tell you, when they were $21 a box, I bought several boxes of Thunderbolts, Remington Thunderbolts, 500 rounds. I bought bunches and bunches of these. They sell them at 325 rounds. Now they're a little more expensive. I ain't gonna lie to you, they probably double that or better. But still, for 500 rounds, you can't beat that with a stick. Does every one of them shoot? No. Does some of them little sound like a little wonky? They go first, you know, hear near, and you know it makes you wonder, did it have enough powder to push that bullet out the barrel? And I've actually had to, you know, look because I just didn't trust it. But you know, I'm gonna say 80 to 90% of these, if not even better, I've had some I ever shell in the box shot. But for, you know, game getters, you can't beat that. But now you get into the Stingers and, you know, the higher brand names, which I've got them in here. Man, there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You'll pay more for them, but there is a lot of difference in those shells. But for as learning, you take your grandkids, kids, whatever, outside and let them plink with these. You know, they learn to shoot accurately with a 22 because it don't kick, it don't have a big bang and all that. But, you know, it ain't gonna break the bank. And if they shoot 500 rounds in a day, I guarantee you they'll talk about that day for a long time. And they even make a 22 and an AR style. And, you know, it's got like a big old clip on it and stuff. I don't know how many it holds. I don't own one. But I know some people that do. And they say that, you know, they're a pretty little accurate rifle too once you get a scope and stuff on them. Okay. This is a box of 122 shells. I believe they're $10. And this is the, I think they're CCI mini mags. I tore the paper. Yeah, it's a CCI mini mag. These are a little more expensive. They're a little better shell, but you get what you pay for. It's like anything else. But I like these right here, and they are hollow point, so they do a good job. But now that Remington 550 and that pistol back here will shoot shorts. See how little them is? And these are quiet. And you can look right there. There are 22 short copper plated hollow point. CCI, they were $13 for 100. And dude, I ain't gonna lie to tell you, I can get good up here on a hickory tree or something where squirrels are sitting. Take and load that 22 right there. That 22 right there is quieter than a normal 22. I guess it's the barrel length or the way it's made. But you put them in it, you hear it ain't loud at all. And I've had 4 or 5 squirrels be sitting in a tree, and you get 3 of them. If you always, now let me tell you on that, if you ever get in under a bunch of squirrels, shoot the bottom one first. It'll fall out. Now, don't pay no attention, but you shoot that top one first, and it comes, they're gone. But you take these little 22 shorts, man, get under a squirrel tree. I've killed 3 out of 5. And sometimes get the other 2 before they get, they'll run over our little ways and stop and look back. What's going on? You can get them. And I couldn't tell you how many squirrels have been killed with a 22 short, rabbits and stuff like that, because it don't make a lot of noise. Okay, now with the 22 magnums, there's variant as the 22. You can get them in you can get them in ballistic tip even. These here are holler points. I won't say they're still about $17, $18 a box of 50. And I'm telling you right now, you can't beat that right there, boys, as far as price and performance. A good 22 Magnum, man, that's a real good, accurate gun. And especially if you take the time to line up stuff like we talked, it's not most time the gun, it's the shooter. I took guns and people said, "Oh man, that's a piece of junk." Well, throw that Tasco or that as we call them $2 scopes, or chuck it in the trash. Take and put a good scope on it. Make sure the mounts is on it correct. And most people don't know how to mount a scope. And they'll put it on there and it'll be side wobbled, or the lines will be a little off and stuff. Okay, but you get that scope right and you work with that and dial it, you can get it in there, buddy. And I'm telling you, they can get real deadly. But 22 Magnum's got a little more power than a 22. So if you're looking for something a little more powerful, and I know people carry these self-defense rounds. They several Smith and Wesson makes a 22 Magnum pistol. There's several companies out there that makes these in little 22 Magnums, and I wouldn't care a bit to have a 22 Magnum at Smith and Wesson 22 like that, 22 Magnum. And then you got the 223. Let me pull you one of these out. These are 55 grain, and they just have a little more powder. The bullet's it's a little bit bigger, but not much. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. But dude, that right there is a work round. I'm telling you, it's louder. Yeah, I grant you, it's louder, and it will get the job done. And I've got these, and for the AR, and I got that little bolt action rifle there. They shoot the 223s. They won't shoot the 5.56. They make a bolt action rifle now, 5.56, and I wouldn't care a bit to have one in a 5.56 where I can shoot 223s in it also. But just so everybody knows, I mean, I love 22s. The 22 long rifle, 22 shorts. This is absolutely one of my favorite pistols in the world. And there's several of these rifles right here, man. Love or money can't buy them. You will never own these as long as I draw breath, unless it would have to be I'm going to lose my place, or like one of my grandbabies were sick and have to have the money before that gun would leave. And, that's just the honest truth of it. But no, get you a good 22, take your kids out, take your grandkids out, let them plink, let them have fun on it. Let them see that, what shooting's about. Teach them right. Tell them, say, now this is not a toy. We come out and we'll shoot it and have fun, but you're not allowed to touch it. Get you nothing else, one of them little metal gun safes. They're about $150 something. put that in there and lock it up. And that way you don't have to worry about that. If you can afford a big safe, hey, put it in a big safe. But, ours was in a rifle rack in my bedroom, right up there on the wall. And, they wasn't nothing for a gun to be sitting in the corner. I was growing up, we just know not to touch it. It's all on how you teach them, people. I'm telling you, it's all on how you teach them. And, I wanted to just touch on these 22s because, I'm not 22, I'm not a hater at all. I love 22s. I love 22 rounds. And they're as versatile as any gun out there. You can shoot from a 22 short, CB, subsonics, and stuff like that. That's so quiet that, it's just insane. They'll kill a squirrel or something like that. I don't think I'd shoot any big game with it, but, them little subsonics, man. And, you don't want to run the squirrels off like with a 22 long rifle. If you can get that 20, that's why I say, get you one of them Remington 550s right there. I'll say this, mine and my brother's got my dad's. Dude, you can mix them. You can put a 22 short, 22 long rifle, whatever in there, subsonics off, and it'll sound different, but it'll cycle in babies and throw them out all day, every day. If it gets to where it won't, just pull it apart, clean it real good, and put it back to work. All right. I hope this helps somebody with 22. If you got an issue with 22s, man, I'm telling you, give them a chance. Do it like any other gun. I tell everybody, buy a good quality scope. Do it to where, that gun has a chance to prove its accuracy. Now, I'm not saying some of them ain't got the rifle shot out. And if they do, the best thing you could do is, just put it on down the road to somebody else, or get it to where, go to a gunsmith and ask him, what do I do? How do I do this? But I got tomatoes to can. That's why I'm doing this. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. We started this at 5:30. So, but I got canning to do today, and I just want to jump in there and do a quick video on this because people would ask me, because I didn't put it in the crap hits the fan. Okay. Would I want to fight a war with a 22 rifle if I have to, but I wouldn't want to. But let me let you go. Let me get to work. Y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be good to each other. If you have any questions or comments, remember, put them in the videos. Share, subscribe, and like the video if you don't care. That helps the algorithm get up so everybody else gets to see it. And, if you got friends that have questions about 22s, there it is. We'll eventually take them out and do some planking and shooting with them and stuff. But right now, I'm not really apologizing. I'm gonna say I'm sorry. My beans took off. I've got 100-foot roll of beans down there, 6 foot tall. I had beans, about that much down at the bottom, looked like it burned up because it'd been so dry. I say, well, I'm gonna let them go to seed. Well, I went down through there and looked, and they plumb from the ground up. There's a ton of beans down there I got to get. I've got a ton of peppers coming on. It's got to be got. I'm still canning tomatoes. I made kraut yesterday, and right now it's garden season. That's the big thing, and I don't want to put on 200 videos of me canning tomatoes. I may do a can of tomato because I've done juice. I may do a can of tomatoes, but we'll get to the next video, and y'all have a good day. All right.